Hello, I'm Sharon.
And I'm Wendy. Welcome to Brown Space.
This is a safe space where we talk about the hard topic of racism.
And build empathy through the healing power of conversation.
Thank you for joining us. It's time to return to our original experience as humans of a one race world. It's time to return to oneness.
Yeah, it's just such a powerful ism, you know, just the construct of it. And I think it's important, like we discussed earlier, to look at it from what it really was, which a construct of falsehoods, right? And once you think about it, like I was actually sitting here thinking as we were talking, I was like, wow, even like when I go to fill out forms for things and it asks me my race, it's like now I'm sitting here thinking, why does that even matter?
I know.
Like, and I understand people will say in our modern times that we're doing it to collect data, right? Data is always the backbone of those types of things. But why does it even matter?
I actually imagined the other day, instead of checking white the next time I have to fill that out, we all came from the same ancestor. I was like, what would happen if I checked black?
Right? Or other. I check other all the time because I could be whatever I want to be on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So other.
I do other a lot too because I think checking that in a very what's the word I'm trying to look for? Non-aggressive way,
Mm-hmm.
passive way, we're perpetuating that.
Yes, the ism. It is.
Yes.
It is. Because I mean, I just literally saw something the other day. I think it was on the news that was saying in by 2040 the country will be a more mixed race um populace, right? And so why are we fighting this thing? Like we're moving towards a oneness, our original, we're moving back towards our original experience as
Yeah.
humans,
Yeah.
as a one race world, right?
Yeah.
Why are we fighting it? Why? Because of the systems that are in place that benefit some and don't benefit others,
Yeah.
right? It's so much easier to, as Wendy said earlier, um, quoting what John said, at least I'm white. At least I'm so white.
But what does
You know
that
what I'm
mean?
saying?
Let's unpack that. At least the deck is stacked in my favor. At least
Right,
the systems work for me. At least when I pull myself up by my bootstraps, I actually have the bootstrap
right,
of whiteness.
right. Oh my God.
I love
Oh
it.
my God. That was an Oprah moment. Oh my God.
That bootstrap.
A bootstrap represents the whiteness.
Wow.
The whiteness. The bootstrap. Oh my God. That's coded language. I never, oh,
That is
girl,
coded, isn't it?
coded
Wow.
language. Like at least.
Ooh, that could take us into a whole other new
Good
conversation when you look at
level.
these.
Girl, that's something right there. Hmm. And even in our previous conversation before we started recording, my mom pointed out about the whole bootstrap thing
Mhm.
is that rugged individualism, that American, conquering the conquering the untamed land and, setting up structures and building things, those types of things, those all perpetuate the sameness of the whiteness that everybody else has to follow suit. I was saying earlier that, my experience as an immigrant coming into this country is not necessarily rugged individualism. It's not American exceptionalism. It is a collective, it is a community building,
Mhm.
right? It is community exceptionalism, if anything, right? If we work together, then we can build something exceptional that will be here for further generations, right? We're not thinking about self, oneness, right? We're thinking about the broader collective. And so, even coming here and having that experience, you have to say, okay, hold up a second. So, you mean it's not about me and my family or my broader community? It's just about me. And I have to figure out how to do things for me. And I have to pull myself up separate from my community and the ideals that I was raised with, the cultural ideals that I was raised with, to accept this notion of pulling myself up by my bootstraps or rugged individualism. And I just want to make clear that coming from a collective or community mindset does not mean that I do not have the capacity, nor do I have the desire to be exceptional.
Or
It just
ability.
means, or the ability to be
Right.
exceptional. It just
Absolutely.
means that I think more of a collective, than an individual.
Yes.
I can I love this conversation because my whole life, the rugged individualism and doing everything on my own and being independently reliant, self-reliance was so emphasized that it became actually a problem in my career and in relationships. I mean, it really does isolate you. So here's the secret no one knows who subscribes to that, except for the 1% of 1%. They know this. They know that leaning in and leaning on each other actually makes a difference. It's the rest of us who, when we stand alone in our rugged individualism and try to do everything on our own, we isolate ourselves, which creates a vacuum of possibility. Because when you fall, you cannot get yourself up. You need that tribe, but you haven't built your tribe. You don't have the support in place and you don't know how to accept it, even if you do.
Right. Wow.
Reject it.
So we need to declare that the new bootstrap is
Yeah. It's
community.
community and the collective. Yeah. 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 And it really, to be honest, helps to solve so many of our issues because we can't, for example, Black people cannot transform systemic racism on their own,
No.
right? White people cannot do it on their own, right? We have to work as a collective
Yes.
to even get that done,
Yes.
right? We
Movement.
have to we have to see each other as community in order to dismantle the structure that negatively impacts all of us. And really, when you think about it, when you have people who can equally contribute their ideas, equally contribute their creativity, equally contribute their experiences, it makes things more robust,
Oh, yeah.
right? It
Yeah.
makes our possibilities more endless.
Mm-hmm.
So, why would we walk away from the possibility of that level of greatness for being an individual, being able to pull up your own bootstraps on
Yeah.
your 10% of whiteness?
I think that's a great way to end this conversation. I don't want to end. I want us to keep talking.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you have to come back again and again and again. And I'm not just being biased, you know. I am not because this young lady is just so um, filled with answers to a lot of questions. And I don't think you're given enough of a chance or platform, Kaliah, to
Yes.
really share and empower and give us hope just through your words. And again, I'm not saying because I'm biased,
No, you're gonna make me cry.
you know, but she's a powerhouse. And I just want to thank you for taking the time to come and share with us for this recording.
Thank you so much for having me. I will say this that I was looking at words or messages about racism, and one of the the messages that I saw this week was a quote from Michelle Obama, which is very simple. It says, "Courage is contagious." And I think if we all just had a bit of courage, it would catch on and make so many changes in our world. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all you've been sharing. There's so much more to unpack. So, yes, please, we need you back. And Sharon, I love you. I see you. Kaliah, I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you
Thank
for
you
having
so
me.
much.
And I love both of you. I love you,
Oh, love
Kaliah,
you too. Love you, Wendy.
Summer,
Woke Wendy.
and I love you, Wendy, sister friend.
Have a great day.
You
Have a good
too.
one. Bye.
Bye.
Michelle Obama said it this way: "You may not always have a comfortable life, and you will not always be able to solve all of the world's problems at once. But don't ever underestimate the impact you can have, because history has shown us that courage can be contagious and hope can take on a life of its own." You've been watching Brown Space with Sharon and Wendy.
It's been so great talking and sharing here today. We look forward to your comments below, or you can email us at brownspace2020@gmail.com.
Remember, you are the light that gives light to the world.